How's everybody doing? Thank you for coming by to Vape with a Viking. So today what I got for you, if you've been watching, of course, the live shows here lately, is one of my new great little mechs that I use a lot now is we have a Dreamer, which, yeah, it's a little older, but hey, it's new to me. But I got a Dreamer stack in gunmetal for you today. So rocking the Rebirth on it. So great little mech, and we'll talk about this a bit more and go. We'll do the dive. I already have the dive down all ready to go, and we'll come back up and I'll give you my thoughts as usual and any other little suggestions that I found through the testing purposes of what you might need to do to get this thing working for you. So, but first, as always, Vikings Advocacy Minute. Basically, same as usual, guys. Go to CASA, sign up, get those calls to action that are literally happening every day now. You know, and if you want more detailed information or specifics, go check out Grim Green. Go check out Matt from Suck My Mod, or even Bogan from Australia. He talks about everybody real quickly, but he definitely has big issues in his own backyard. Because literally right now, New Zealand and UK are about the only places that vaping is at least okay. Everywhere else is pretty much under attack. So, you know, you don't have to be the fighter, but at least be informed. Go to CASA, sign up. Takes 30 seconds, guys. So, but anyway, back to where we're here on the Dreamer. And we're going to do the dive down. We're going to put the build in it. I did do the review basically in the stack portion, just because everybody knows how, if you've seen this or interested in the Dreamer, you probably already know how to deal with a regular mech and of course know your ohms laws and battery safety and all that, and to build just on for the Dreamer itself. So this one's going to be more pointed for the stack. So we're going to be using series coils and stuff like that. So, but without further ado, let's drop the hammer on the Dreamer Stack Edition. All right, so what I have for you today is the Dreamer. So it is a little bit of an older device, you know, because we do now have the Keen out, but, you know, hey, it's still a good viable product here. So I did get this from a subscriber, Mike Bird. I did a little tradey, and this is what we came up with. So what we have here is, we'll go over that here in just a sec, but the other thing you'll also see was what this is. This is your stack section. And it'll come in a bag and comes all wrapped up and everything. And of course I opened it and looked at it and did all that kind of good stuff with it. So well, we'll just kind of set that off to the side, but that's what that little bag over here was for. So when you buy your Dreamer, it'll be like this. This is something separate. So all right, so on the box itself, you got the, you know, the Dreamer, the logo, the little, you can tell, like TimesVape thing they got going on here. Your batteries it will support. So it will support the big three. TimesVape, engineered for vape. Same thing. And then on this side, designed by Stan. TenaciousTXVapes is his website. And then on the back side, you have all of your specs there. 27 millimeter, that does taper to a 25. All your battery configurations in here, and I do know the 18650 adapter is not in here. So, but honestly, a 21700 Mac, why are you going to use an 18650? So, reversible tube for the customizable grip, and all that good stuff on there. So we'll look at all that, and then of course your authenticity, your color configuration, and designed by Stan in the US for TimesVape. All right, let's get into it. Nice little cutouts, so you don't have to worry about that suction there. All right, so you will get your Dreamer, and this is that gunmetal. Nice finish there. Super smooth, really nice. And then in the pouch, you'll get all of your accessories, springs, pin, and then looks like going to be some stack, little contact pads. Got a couple of those. So you have your Dreamer itself right here, designed in the US. by stand. There's your number. Here's your threading for, I should say, your top cap or 510 connection here. Everything's nice and smooth. And then there's your fire switch right there. And it says "Be Tenacious" by TimesVape. Of course, that's Stan's motto right there, "Be Tenacious." You have your switch here. Again, everything's nice and smooth. Okay, so here is your whole firing switch and everything. So you got some, looks like peak insulator there. And then you actually have your silver fire connection in there, silver button. And then you have your, okay, and then you have how it comes apart here is you'll see there's two like little slots here you can use, you know, if you need to, a screwdriver or maybe even needle nose or something like that, which I didn't think I was going to need anything. I think when I put it back together, there we go, I got a little too tight. That's how there we go, that's all coming out now. There we go. And this is a constant contact switch. Alright, so there you got your ring there. Okay, don't drop that. Alright. Then you have your peak here, and then you have that small like contact spring or a consistent contact or anti-rattle spring there, and that's what one of the springs in the pouch is. Then you actually have your connection pin here, which is silver, I believe silver plated copper. And then you just unscrew it like this. And just a little slower. And if you put a screwdriver in there, it'll probably work a little bit better. But I like doing everything by hand. You don't end up gouging any of the metals or anything like that with your screwdrivers. There you go. So there's that contact again. There's that extra one in there as well. And now, out of the bottom there's where your other spring is as well. And I'm not 100%, but let's test the theory here. Yeah, no. So there is a difference between two springs. This one's a little squishier, a little, I guess it'd be a softer throw, where this one is a lot harder of a throw. I wouldn't say a lot harder. Yeah, it is definitely, in my opinion, a little bit harder in there. So actually we'll take and throw that one in there. Definitely like a little bit of a harder throw. So yeah, that's how you get through the entire switch there and get it all cleaned up if you want to get it cleaned. Looks like this is pretty darn clean, so I won't have to do any cleaning right now. You do have your little notches there. Pretty simple putting it back together. Just do everything in reverse. Start with your contact. Pretty simple design there. It's pretty awesome. And put back on the peak insulator, the anti-rattle there, or consistent contact, however you want to call that guy. And screw that down by hand. Yeah, that's what I did last time. Alright, so there's your switch there, and of course when you have the battery and everything in there, the anti-rattle will adjust there, and then you have your switch there. So what we're going to do with this guy is we're going to take and we're going to put the stack together and everything. I'm not going to have it all ready to go here, but we'll take and come back up and vape on it here because I already have it built, but I'm going to be running the rebirth on it with some coil clout fused Claptons. So, but I will put this all back together, vape on it, and I'll tell you where, of course, you can find the Dreamer and my opinions on it. We'll see you back up top. Alright, we are back on top with the Dreamer Stack Edition. So one of the things I want to go over with, on the dive down, I wasn't 100% clear on it. Main reason is I need to quit doing that. I was like completely distracted when I was doing that dive down. So one of the things I do want to point out, and if you've ever used a stack, you probably have a really good idea what it is, but the little stack disc is basically what you want to call it. They do put two in the stack kit for you. So what you're going to do with that guy though is I always put the bottom battery in the Dreamer first, put the little stack disc or sleeve, whatever you want to call it, in there, your other battery, and then so much easier to do this off, but push it in there like that. That makes it a little bit easier, and then just screw the guy together. And basically what that'll do is that'll take up any battery rattle or gapping to make sure when you're hitting that button it's making that connection with both of your batteries and your RDA very smooth, flawless, and you don't have any possible issues when you're hitting it. And if they're not quite touching, it'll help with arcing and all that kind of good stuff as well, at least from what I have seen. So there's probably going to be opinions out there that, hey, that's not what it's technically there for, but at least from what I'm getting out of it, that's what I say it's for. So, but pros and cons of the Dreamer. Well, first off, it's sexy. Come on, it's sexy. It's pretty lightweight for a stack. This is kind of my first stack, and it's not much heavier than some mechs by themselves. I love the switch. It's nice. It's smooth. It feels really great in the hand. Everything kind of feels really smooth and almost to the point of slick, but it's not. When you first get in your hand, you might be like, gotta be careful, got a lot of weight here. It feels super slick, but it's really not. It's smooth. It's nice in the hand. I do like it. Believe it or not, it's weird with the stack. When I go and I set it down, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, when I go to pick it up, I pick it up from the top here. I guess get in frame, pick it up to the top here, and then get it in position. So but yeah, it works really well, pairs really well with the rebirth. Not quite too flush size though, so some people might not like that. I for one, I don't know, I dig it. I'm not big on under gap or over gap. I mean, if we look at it, I'm not that particular about over gap. So I do like it when it all comes together, but the performance on it, it's you're not even gonna look at it. It's like it hits well. It's a great vape, running the Sad Boy Butter Cookie in it as usual, and it's probably the best I've ever gotten that liquid to taste. In other devices, it's good, and here it's great. So yeah, lots of pros, and I hate doing this. Well, and the other thing that I thought was really cool about it is with the Dreamer, if you're using just the Dreamer, that top is removable, so you can reverse it to fit however your vaping style and hand is. I have it so that the curve or lettering is the down portion of it. Works really well for me. But negatives or cons, I just really, I don't get any from this. It's, you know, I know there's going to be people out there who are going to be like, well, you're not finding a lot of cons on a lot of stuff. Well, I guess, you know, one, I am kind of newer to vaping, so the next best thing is going to be the next best thing for me, but I've done negative reviews, so it's not like it's not in my head. Um, but it's basically my first consistent use stack. So maybe that has a lot to play with it. Yeah, there are probably better stacks out there. There are probably worse stacks out there. But for the price point, because you're talking the Dreamer, realistic prices, I found them anywhere from 75 to 90. I found a couple sites that it was way cheaper than that as well, but you know, they might be sites that are selling clones. Who knows? I know that this came straight from Stan's website, so TenaciousTXVapes, his site specifically, which I got from Mike Berg out there. Did some trading, and I'll have to say, I'm sorry, Mike. I think I got the better end of the deal. So, but the stack piece is about 30 bucks no matter where you go. But it includes everything you would need. You buy the mech, you buy the stack, of course, all the bits and all the pieces and parts are all included in there. So I mean, all you need to make sure is when you're running in the stack, you know your ohms laws, you know your battery safety, and make sure you're running series coils in them, and you're good to go. It's going to be a great vape experience. I just can't not recommend it enough. So yeah, just good. So that is all I got on the Dreamer with stack. So the Dreamer, let's say the Dreamer Stack Edition. So, but I want to thank each and every one of you yet again for coming by to Vape with a Viking. And I'll check you later.